We just got new chicks. What are the top 5 things you need to have at your house when you bring chicks home? Let's start with the brooder. This green tent-like structure is by a company called Pawaboo, and it is their small animal playpen. Any container that will keep the temperature stable and keep predators out is pretty much all you need. A large cardboard box, a tote container with air holes drilled in it, or a screen for the top, and you're good to go. They could go in a barn if you have a barn that's going to protect them enough, and or a room in your house, whichever works best for you. Of course, when you get your chicks, you're going to need feed and water. I've got just regular tap water. We have a well here, so there's no chlorine or fluoride or anything added to the water. It's the same filtered water that we drink. You're going to want a chick starter feed. You can get medicated or non-medicated, and that's totally a personal choice on what you like to get. The medication in it is not an antibiotic. The medication in it is called AMPROLIUM, and it is a thiamine blocker, so it blocks parasites from getting the thiamine they need to reproduce. And that protects the chicks until they've got a strong enough immune system to fight it off themselves. We have an adult flock of chickens outside already, and we have wild turkeys and blue jays that visit our chickens quite often. So I don't want my new chicks to be exposed to that before their bodies are ready for it, so we're using the medicated. You can see them there at the feeder. So that's something else you need, is the feeder and waterer. We got ours in a kit. This kit comes with the feeder and waterer and a bag of chick starter feed. When we got this kit last year, we did not feed them the chick starter that came with the kit right from the beginning. We wanted to make sure they were well established and stable in case that starter was stale or something. The next thing you need is a heat source. A lot of people will use a heat lamp, but I don't want to risk setting my house on fire or setting my barn on fire or anything like that. And fire risk is high with those heat lamps, either from them dropping, from feathers or shavings getting into the light bulb or anything like that. And what we have here is called a Brooder Plate. It is by K&H. I will put a link for that and all these other things in the description below. And this heat Brooder Plate gets warm on the bottom, and it's got adjustable settings, so you can put it right down low like the way I've got it right now for baby chicks, and that's just like they would huddle under their mama hen if they were being raised by their mom. The next thing you're going to need is some kind of bedding on the bottom of the brooder. When they're small like this, their legs are not strong enough to support them if the floor is slippery. We want them to develop strong, healthy legs, not legs that have been damaged by a slip or a fall. And these are just puppy pads for puppy training, and they work very well for this purpose. As the chicks get older, and they're very dirty, as the chicks get older, about a week old, we'll put pine shavings in the bottom. At this point, the chicks haven't necessarily identified what is food and what is poop and what is shavings for the bedding. So we'll wait for them to be about a week old, and then we'll put pine shavings down so that they know where their food is by then. They know what their food looks like, and they're less likely to try to eat the shavings. Last year I did have some chicks who ate the shavings and they survived just fine, but I don't want to take that risk. So the brooder plate, the feed and water containers, and of course feed and water, and the bedding on the bottom of the container. Now there's a bonus I wanted to add to this collection of things. It is called Electrolytes Plus. This is electrolytes and vitamins. It's water soluble, and you just put it a tiny bit in their water, and it helps to give them all the vitamins and nutrients they need. A, D, B, E, folic acid, riboflavin, all kinds of sodiums, and everything that a chick would need to get it started. There are special chick starter electrolytes you can get, and I wasn't able to find them at the time that we bought this one. These are Canadian breast chicks. They are descendants of the French Bresse chicks from Bresse, France, which are some of the highest quality meat birds in the world. Their meat can actually be marbled. I don't know if you can pick it up in the video or not, but their legs are not quite the yellow and orange that you see on most chicks. Their legs are a little gray right now. As they mature, their legs will be blue, a nice dark blue. In the early days of a chick's life, they need some help. They need to be taught where the waterer is. They need to be taught how to drink. And they sometimes develop a condition called pasty butt. Pasty butt is basically their poop has stuck to their bum feathers, and it can actually seal their bum closed. And as their caretakers, we need to make sure that they are able to evacuate and remain healthy. I don't think any of my chicks have it, but you simply take a wet washcloth and you soak the poop that's stuck to them. Wait for a few minutes, and then it should come off easily and gently. Do not pull this stuff off. Do not pick at it or pull it. You don't want to be pulling on their vent. You do not want to be pulling feathers out. You do not want to be giving them a condition of prolapse. Soak the feathers in the material and let it soak through so that it comes off quite gently and easily. These guys are getting quite strong. I've been watching them, and I think I have a couple of roosters in there. I think the ones that are standing up taller and come out to the front whenever there's any new noise in the space, I think those are the roosters. They're standing more upright, and they're more attentive to protecting the others. As from what I've seen so far, I think I have two. I've actually seen them belly to belly and sword fighting with their beaks. And I think that one right there that just came out, I think that's a rooster. And the one that's still standing just under the edge, standing there, I think that's a rooster. You want to handle your chicks every day, several times a day, so they bond with you. They know that you are their mama hen. You want them to see you. You want them to look at you and get used to being handled, because later on, this will make a much easier to recall chicken and a much easier to handle bird that doesn't take off and is not quite as flighty. They're more human friendly that way. Isn't this one just the cutest? Oop. So there you have it. 5 things you need to bring chicks home. A brooder, a heat source, feed and water containers, some kind of bedding, and your chick feed. That's it. Oh, the electrolytes are bonus. I'll catch you next time, guys. Thanks for sticking around.